Today I'm gonna share something with you that might ruffle some feathers, maybe even your feathers. Let's see what happens. But today I want to talk about something that is so important for a lot of women to understand, especially women who want to date successful men. And none of my coaching clients, neither the amazing women who joined my 8-week Love Magnet coaching program, nor the incredible women who decided to book individual coaching sessions with me, said the following words: Sebastian, I want to date a complete loser. I want to date a man who makes zero money, who only plays video games and smokes weed all day long. None of my clients has ever said that, but many of my clients have told me, Sebastian, I want a man with a high income. I want a man who's successful, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not one of these guys who tells you, oh, that's so bad, you're a gold digger. No, you're an accomplished woman. You're a successful woman, and you want a guy who's on your level, and that's okay. I mean, that's biology. It's completely okay. You are biologically programmed to want an equally successful man, or a man who's more successful. At least most women feel that way, and it is okay. I don't want to record this episode to shame you. I want to do the opposite. I want to help you to get a successful man. And sometimes getting a successful man requires you to do things differently than most women are doing when they try to get a successful man. I'll explain. Not a lot, but some of my clients, they felt offended when a guy suggested a coffee date, to simply go for a coffee that maybe costs $3 or $4 or $1 wherever you're located. It totally depends, of course, if you live in a small town or if you live in New York City, wherever you might be. The price is different, but it's not a very expensive date. And I then had clients, again, not many, but some of them mentioned that this would be a sign that this man tries to avoid paying for a date and is not invested in the date, and it might also be a sign that this guy is not successful at all, because otherwise he could take me to a fancy restaurant. And this is a big misconception. This is a big trap that you want to avoid, because I want to tell you the truth now, and I'm speaking to you as a man who is financially accomplished. I am financially free. I have multiple businesses, and I know a lot of financially successful men. I know very wealthy men. Those are business partners of mine, friends of mine, and I can tell you that a lot of them, not just one or two, but a lot of them use quote-unquote cheap first dates as a way to qualify if a woman might be interested only in a free meal and not in the date itself. And they then choose these cheap venues deliberately. I mean, not cheap in the sense of, oh, I'm going to take her to McDonald's, but cheap in the sense of, oh, let's have a coffee date. Let's just drink a coffee together. Because they want to know if the woman actually wants to spend time with them. So here are the two different ways of thinking about this, and these ways are in complete opposition, and they lead to a lot of misunderstandings on both sides, and of course also a lot of missed opportunities on both sides, because while you might be thinking, he just wants to take me to a coffee, he's not really invested, maybe he doesn't like me that much, maybe he's not that successful, he is thinking to himself, hey, I really like her, I really want to date this woman, I really want her to like me, I can imagine a relationship with her, but I have to find out if she feels the same way about me. And you might feel the exact same way about him, but because for some reason you have read somewhere in Cosmopolitan or some other dating coach has told you, oh, don't ever settle for less, only accept the date if it's in a restaurant and never a coffee date, you are missing out on the opportunity to date an amazing man who chooses the coffee date because he wants to get to know you, because he's interested in you, and because he wants to know if you also are interested in him. On the other hand, and this is something that quite a few of my clients have experienced in the past, and maybe you've experienced it too, some men, especially narcissistic men, they try to do their best to impress you on the first date, to get you in bed very fast, and This might be a guy who's not successful at all, but he is then spending the money on the first date in a fancy restaurant because he wants to get you in bed fast. It's not because he's invested in you. It's not because he likes you in particular. It's just because he wants to sleep with you. And this is something that you have to remember. So what if he wants to take you on a cheap coffee date? Should you say yes or no? In my humble opinion, you should say yes. Because especially if you know that this man is the kind of guy that you want to meet, that he has a job, that he's not living in his mom's basement, that he is independent, and maybe you even know what he's doing for a living. It doesn't mean that he's cheap. It doesn't mean that he's trying to save money on every corner. It simply means that he wants to know whether or not you are truly interested in him. This is something that you have to remember. I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to meet an amazing man just because you fall into this thought trap where you believe that, either he's not successful at all or he's not invested in the relationship with me at all, because otherwise he would take me to a fancy restaurant, or at least to a restaurant and not just on a coffee date. But the reason why he does that is because he wants to figure out whether or not you're truly interested in him and whether or not you actually like him, and if you want to get to know him for him. So please don't make this mistake with a man who is potentially an amazing boyfriend and an even more amazing husband. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. And of course, I also invite you to now find out more about the different coaching options I offer. You can find out more about my 8-week Love Magnet coaching program, which you can do by going to gethimkeephim.com/magnet. And you can also find out more about the individual coaching sessions that I offer by going to gethimkeephim.com/coaching or by clicking on the second link in the description. And remember that if you then join the Love Magnet coaching program, we will have 8 individual one-on-one coaching sessions together. And specifically when it comes to coaching session number 4, which is week number 4, where I show you how to activate and use your feminine energy to date in a way that is truly powerful, you can then, no matter if you go on a coffee date with him or in a restaurant, wrap him around your fingers. And I would be honored if you gave me the opportunity to help you, to motivate you on your dating journey, to inspire you, and to make sure that you attract the man of your dreams.